Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing episode number 3 of Comp Diaries, the series where I talk y'all through a competitive game that I play and basically give y'all tips on what I could do better, what I could do worse, and same thing for my opponent. So basically, hopefully, to benefit y'all and make y'all better My Team players by watching a competitive game and seeing the mistakes we make and things that we can do better, as well as the things that we do well that you can hopefully add to your game. Before we hop into this video, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 2,500 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day and I would really appreciate your support. And one thing I will mention that I mentioned in my videos yesterday as well is I do have COVID, so I apologize if you'll hear any coughing in this video. My voice doesn't sound great, if my energy levels are a little bit low. That is why, but we're trying to push out content for y'all anyway, and I hope y'all do enjoy this video. So this game is a deciding game 3 in the Elite 8 of MyTeam Madness that was held this past weekend. MyTeam Madness is one of the premier tournaments in the 2K MyTeam community. Besides the 250K tournament, I think you could definitely argue it is the most premier tournaments in the MyTeam community. They run tournaments about once a month, and this is the deciding game 3 in the Elite 8 of this past weekend's MyTeam Madness tournament. And I think it's a really good game that y'all can learn a lot from. So let's hop back into it and see how this game goes. So starting us off, we do win the jump ball here, throw it to LeBron, get it to a point guard, and then immediately get into your freelance. It's one of the first things that I always recommend doing. Start off with a pick and roll first possession of the game. We do manage to, he just overplays the screen in all honesty with LeBron. Reaches where he really shouldn't have. It gives up an open dunk. That's a poor defensive possession by him to start the game. In all honesty, we get an easy dunk out of it. He comes down with Mitch Richmond, and one thing that he was doing that I thought was interesting that most players don't do is he was using Mitch Richmond as his primary ball handler, and he did a really good job of using this Mitch Richmond. He does have the dribble 6 and the ability to be a solid primary ball handler. He gets to the screen there, knocks down a pretty much wide open 3. Easy green for him, good shot. But most people use like actual point guards as their primary ball handlers, guys like Fred VanVleet. The only shooting guards typically used as primary ball handlers would be like Kobe and Donovan Mitchell, so we get an easy dunk there. But he had success using Mitch Richmond as his primary ball handler and chose to go with a more defensive point guard than a guy like Walt Frazier. So right this possession, he tries to get to the rim, but no, this is the possession he comes off, and Walt Frazier's jump shot is so slow that I'm able to get it basically a ghost contest with Fred VanVleet, which I don't love. I get the ball out of Dikembe's hands so I don't risk a bump steal, get it over to Freddie, throw it into Dikembe. He's reaching, so he kills his own momentum basically and isn't able to run and catch up with Dikembe, so I get to the rim and get an easy dunk to start off the game, which is always a good start. I'm up 6-3, playing smart so far, haven't risked any turnovers, taken safe dunks, things like that. And he does a good job of getting past my screen there, getting to the rim, but I click on Dikembe, user it, and jump up and get the block. And that's something I do recommend you do, is use your center when they are trying to get a dunk at the rim so that you can have a chance at a block. He comes off a screen here, and one thing I'll mention right here, I should have stayed on ball with Kawhi. Instead, as you can see, I click off, I get caught by the screen, try to come up and contest with Kobe, and I leave the corner wide open. It doesn't let him shoot initially, but he does wind up eventually being able to shoot, shoots a 3 and knocks it down. Good shot by him. But that's a mistake that I made there, that I should have just usered my way through the screen, because it is much easier to get through a screen if you are using it, and I typically like to click on and off in those situations. Also, here, I wind up fouling. I didn't realize an and one. I think I paused I wind up pausing here. I don't remember why I paused. It wasn't actually because of the and one, but he does get a weird and one animation there, which is kind of an odd one. I'm not super thrilled about that and one, but he does wind up knocking on the free throw. I score on the other end, and we're halfway through the first quarter, playing decent so far. He goes into his 5 out, good proper floor spacing, calls for himself a pick and roll. I'm chasing it down. He throws it to the corner. I think that was probably a misclick. He probably meant to hit his center up top, and unfortunately for him, he isn't able to, but we get the steal with Kobe in the corner. Coming off the screen, hit our roll man, Dikembe wide open, gets an easy dunk, and we're just taking our smart buckets so far, playing decently. Besides that bump steal that I gave up with Fred VanVleet, with his Walt Frazier getting a bump steal on me, I've played pretty solid to start off this game. We do a decent job of playing defense there with Fred VanVleet. I easily could have gotten a steal there if he was a little bit taller. Unfortunately, he's not. And he tries to force a back door, and then I think he goes up here. No, he does not go up. Okay, so he resets with Kawhi. Again, pretty good defensive possession. He goes back door. Dikembe's right there. I user jump with Dikembe and get the snatch block, which is great defense by me. But then I promptly throw the ball. Don't do what I just did there. Do not just press A basically and throw the ball ahead immediately to try to get out in transition, because there's a chance it's not going to be a safe bucket. In that situation, it wasn't a safe bucket, and I wound up turning the ball over and then giving up a bucket that I really did not need to give up, because I could have just been patient, set up my offense, and had the ball in that situation and not cost myself points. Fred VanVleet is a super nice point guard, by the way. Great budget point guard. If y'all have been watching my channel, y'all know that. I get in the paint with Dikembe. He jumps, and I go up. And I should have gone up earlier, honestly. I pump faked one too many times. But that being said, I still get a 15%. He's under the basket, so it's going to be very hard in this year's game to get a contest when the defender is under the basket. So you can typically just go up there, and you'll get an easy layup animation. He goes to the rim, kicks it to the corner. That should have been a wide open long two or three for LeBron. I helped in a lot, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't. And then I wind up getting a stop on that possession. I'm skipping through a few plays, just occasionally trying to make this video not too long. But Fred VanVleet here, I think I tried to hit the slip underneath. Oh, I throw a great lob. That's a really good lob. I mean, late clock in a situation like this. I'll talk y'all through what I was thinking in this possession right here. I wish I could control how far I skip ahead just a little bit more, but I'll talk y'all through what I was seeing in this possession with 10 seconds left. So I bring the ball up the court with Fred VanVleet. Or no, I didn't bring the ball up the court. I pass it in Mutombo and then bring the ball up the court with VanVleet. Call for a screen. He rolls, so I go toward the screen. And I see right here, if you see, my Dikembe Mutombo is inside of his Dikembe. I'm closer to the basket than his Dikembe is. So if I throw the lob, there's a good chance that the lob will be thrown toward the basket and his Dikembe won't be able to get through my Dikembe and get the block. So, and also late possession, you're just trying to give yourself the best opportunity possible. And this is definitely the best opportunity that I have to score, is to throw this lob instead of forcing a contested fadeaway mid-range, which might give me an offensive rebound still. But I think this is the smartest play. I throw the lob. He winds up getting inside of him just like I had hoped, and I get an easy bucket there to go up 14-11. All right, skipped forward just a little bit into the second quarter, and starting off this second quarter, he brings the ball up with the court with Walt Frazier. Both of our starters are still in. I user my way through the screen with Fred VanVleet there, which is much better defense. He still managed to get to the rim, and using Walt Frazier being taller than Fred VanVleet and also having a bigger player model being stronger, he's able to get a contact layup animation and gets through me basically for an easy layup, which is a smart take by him. In that situation, he does have a mismatch. I force way too early in the clock for me to be shooting that shot. Luckily, I get an offensive rebound and put it back up with the Dikembe. Mashing is always very effective in this game. Excuse me. But he goes right back to trying to use his Mitch Richmond as his primary ball handler, which I think is very interesting. Honestly, I think he would have had more success probably if he hadn't played this way, but it did wind up working pretty well for him. He gets through the screen with Mitch Richmond, and I guess when my Kawhi makes contact with the screen there, he's going to have an open shot off the screen because I'm not pinching hard with Dikembe in this game, and I could have pinched hard, which would probably be more likely to give up the 2, but then we throw it into Dikembe this game. He's right underneath the basket. Because I'm aware that he's underneath the basket, I'm pretty sure that I can go up, and pretty much every time I'm right in that situation, I can go up. And I'm going to show y'all why does it keep going backwards. It's so frustrating that I can't skip, because this video is so long, I can't skip forward into it. But anyway, because his defender was under the basket, Dikembe's defender was under the basket, I'm pretty much able to go up every single time, and they're not going to be able to get a contest, just the way this game is this year. He goes through the rim with Mitch, and again, using the center, I'm able to jump at the right time, get a block, which is why you do want to use your center when you're trying to get a chase down. Don't let your CPU do it, because they're not going to get the block. He throws out to the pop. I play good defense on it to get the contest to Dikembe. He would have been better off, honestly, taking that inside with Mitch Richmond in that possession, but he did kind of mess that up. And I'm bringing the ball up with Kobe, calling my 5 out, getting my floor spacing proper. I have a mismatch here with Dikembe on Kawhi. Could easily throw it into Dikembe there and try to post up. He does wind up fouling, which is actually a pretty good foul for him, just because it prevents me from being able to attack the mismatch with Dikembe. But I should have honestly initially thrown it into Dikembe. Get the ball right back to Kobe. Kobe's a phenomenal secondary ball handler because he has a great dribble style, and he goes to the rim right there, and base throws down a really nice dunk. Kobe has super nice dunk animations that don't get blocked very much, and a really good dribble style that's similar to a shifty or quick. So he bursts well out of his dribble moves, which gives him a lot more speed and makes him a more effective ball handler. He speed boosts with Mitch. I play pretty good defense with it, off falling on LeBron and then recovering to the pop. His LeBron, who's his pop in that situation on that screen. On balling with Mutombo, switching back and forth. My Mutombo gets a steal there. That's a lucky steal, but he wasn't going to score that possession anyway with only 1 second left on the clock. Being patient to throw the pass, he does wind up fouling on the break, which is smart because I would have had a mismatch again with Mutombo. But pretty good play by me right now on the defensive end of the court, doing a good job of covering my bases and keeping everybody well guarded. All right, hopping right back into this. I get my bench in. My bench consists of AI, who's a really nice dribbling point guard who can shoot the ball, and then I have Wilt coupled with him. So I have a 300 point guard in AI, as well as an interior big in Wilt. And here, I'm not sure why he pauses, but he's pausing to switch matchups, which is actually really smart. Y'all want to make sure that you're switching matchups every single time that the bench comes in or the starters come in at the beginning of the game. When you're doing it in your initial settings, and also when the bench comes in, make sure you're switching your matchups so that you can put your on-ball lock on the primary ball handler, whether that's a Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, ML Carr, Andre Iguodala, Jimmy Butler, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of cards that you can use as a lock right now, but that's one player that I recommend. All those players are guys that I recommend using as locks. And I try to put on free throw timing here with Wilt. I'm terrible with Wilt's free throw release. I still wind up shooting a late and missing both free throws, which is tough. I think later in this game I get more free throws with Wilt and I wind up making them. But I get a nice bump steal there with Josh Smith. Really good defense by me. Throw it into Wilt, get an easy dunk. Nice ball movement, just being patient, or not even that patient, but just being smart, moving the ball, not throwing any risky passes and getting a dunk, even though I do miss those 2 free throws. Coming down the court on the other end, I think he scores a couple possessions in a row here. I do want to see how though. Nice move there by AI. He gets me into the screen, creates space in the opposite direction, and using the burst gets an open 3. Smart move by him. Nice shot. He's 6 of 8 from 3 right now, and I'm 0 of 2, which just shows you all the different play styles that we're playing with right now. I will take my open 3s, but I'm not going to force them and okay, that's kind of a lie, because as I say that, I wind up forcing a 3, which is definitely not the smartest shot I could have taken. But he gets wide open lane there. I overplay with Wilt because I don't want to give up the 3, and I don't actually hate that defensive possession there because I was so out of position that I kind of had to give up something, and I didn't want to give up a wide open 3. So that wasn't terrible, but I have given up 5 straight points, and unfortunately that puts me in a little bit of a hole. AI gets a animation to the rim, and AI with his 85 diamond dunk is a super nice card, which is one thing I really like about AI, is his ability to slash the rim and dunk the ball as well as like shoot. And I do a really good job there in that possession of recovering with Wilt to the roller, doing a good job of hedging through the screen with Wilt, but also being able to recover and not overplaying it too much. And I do a really nice job of that on that possession. He's throwing the ball into his AI, bringing him to the ball, and then pushing him away so he doesn't risk a steal. I try to send a double team. Should have been a steal there. I really kind of got unlucky with my AI. He throws the pass out. It gets tipped. Really nice defensive possession though by me. I already should have had a steal in this possession, and he winds up getting a backdoor dunk, which is just so frustrating because that possession I did actually play really nice defense. Should have had a steal off the double team, and unfortunately AI just didn't steal it. So that's pretty unlucky, but only down by 1 point so far. Trying to just find our groove just a little bit. Double size up there. Nice move by AI. Throw it into the easy dunk with Josh Smith. He overplays too high with Draymond Green because of my ability to get his defender into the screen. And I do a really nice job of getting a wide open dunk to take a 1 point lead with 30 seconds left in the half. He's 5-outing with his AI. And one of the benefits to him not running a guy like Wilt is his ability. I probably should have switched on to Wilt there and tried to get a steal, or I mean a block. But he doesn't have a defense, a center who can't shoot. When I'm running Wilt, I have an elite defensive center who's also a really good rebounder and interior player, but I don't have a shooter. And unfortunately, that's something that he does have with his Josh Smith, is a guy who can at least capably stretch the floor and is not good of as good of an interior player, but still super solid. And I managed to get a blow by there with AI. That's a little bit lucky in all honesty. I will take it. Blow bys don't happen this much in this game, but I get a little bit of a blow by there with my AI, and we take a 1 point lead into the half. All right, hopping into the second half. Probably have ML Carr on ball, who's one of the best on-ball locks in the game right now. And as y'all can see, I'm just switching to everybody. I'm playing a little bit of on ball to make sure my players recover. He forces. I played really nice defense that possession. He never really had anything open. Forces a cross court pass, which is just kind of a poor decision in all honesty, and it winds up not benefiting him at all. I get to the rim with Josh Smith, draw a foul. His Draymond is behind me, so I think that there is a more likely than not chance that I'm going to get a dunk animation in that situation with Josh Smith having a 90 drive a dunk. And I don't get a dunk animation, but I do get a nice as I wound up missing the free throw there. That's my fault. So I go to turn my free throw timing back off because I'm typically more comfortable with it off, and I knocked down the second one, which is good. But I'm pretty confident in that situation that I'm probably going to get a dunk animation. And even though I don't get a dunk animation in that situation, I would take that shot again. And I do get the foul as well. So I definitely have a chance at 2 points still, even though I butchered the release on one of them. Pretty good defense in this situation. Do a good job of rotating from the corner, but then I jump with ML Carr, which screwed up that possession a little bit because I would have had a chance at a stop on that possession because Carr is better interior than Allen Iverson, taller as well, and is going to have a better chance at getting a stop. If I had swung that corner to ML Carr, I would have also had a chance for a stop there, and I get lucky. His AI is smaller than me, but it's a 44% contest, and it goes in for an and one. That's a little bit of a blessing there. I'm not sure why that was a 44% contest, to be completely fair, because AI was a bit behind him and also a lot shorter than him. But that being said, we do get lucky with the and one, and we go up 3. All right, hopping right back into it. He gets an open look with AI. good shot by him. Doesn't green it. That's his fault. He's got to green that shot. If he doesn't green it, it's probably not going to go in most of the time, and it doesn't wind up going in there. Nice double size up by me. I throw it into Wilt, and I see my mismatch. I have Glenn Robinson being guarded, or Wilt being guarded by Glenn Robinson. That's going to be an easy drop step every single time. Hall of Fame drop stepper. He's like 6 inches taller than him as well. That's just going to be an easy bucket 9 times out of 10, or honestly 99 times out of 100. Occasionally you'll get unlucky with certain animations, but most of the time that is going to be an easy bucket. I do a great job of not jumping that time on the interior with MLK, which keeps him in position to get a contest if he tries to get a block. And then he gets a nice blow by animation, but I get a chase down block with Wilt. And that's why you use your centers when you're trying to get those chase downs, because your CPUs probably won't get them, but you can often get those chase down animations if you do it properly and use it yourself. I could have shot that there with Glenn Robinson. I didn't realize that I was going to come that open off the screen, but I did have AI behind me, so I could have easily shot that for 3, and I don't wind up doing it. I do a good job of using the screen as misdirection there, get right back into the post. If I could have been able to hold my dribble with Wilt, I would have attacked the post and tried to go up. Unfortunately, I wind up getting boxed because I'm not able to control my dribble there and keep my dribble. And if I had, I would have been able to drop step, but unfortunately I'm not. I tried to get a bump steal there with MLK, trying to beat him to the spot around the screen and get that bump, which I was in position to get the bump, and 2K just didn't give me the animation, which is okay. Again, pinching from the sideline, trying to get a bump. Don't jump with MLK. That's smart defense by me. I did a good job of not jumping, keeping my player in position. He just gets a lucky paint mash. You're going to get those animations on the interior often in this game, and you're going to kind of have to live with it to a certain extent because it just is what it is. But throw it over to the corner of Josh Smith, go baseline, hit Wilt up top. I honestly probably would have been better off trying to go for a dunk there, but he's out of position. I go up, easy paint mash, easy bucket for Wilt, and that's the one thing you're going to risk with running a guy like Josh Smith at center. He's only 6'9". Even though he's a great defensive card, he's still going to likely get mashed by a guy who's Wilt, who's 7'1" with such long arms. So he kind of loses defensive ability on the interior by running a guy who's a better perimeter defender and a better shooter. He does a good job of getting himself a bucket there with AI. His AI has played really, really well so far. As 14. My AI has 9, which isn't bad either. But I don't know what he was doing there with Josh Smith. He just played way too high. I'm not sure what he was trying to pinch for. Wilt cuts back door, gets an easy wide open dunk. That was just poor defense by him, in all honesty. Coming toward the end of the third quarter, though, he hits his Josh Smith. Wilt is not going to get exploited on the perimeter very much, especially with the way this game is. He throws it to MLK, who's not the type of guy that I'm super worried about as a primary creator, but he does a great job coming off the screen, getting an open look. Doesn't green it, but it's a good shot. So we get the ball to Glenn Robinson, push and transition. Again, I'm setting up my pick and roll. I run pick and roll almost every single play, as y'all can see by now. And I'm trying to go into positional play. Like, I'm going to go back and just, actually I'm not going to go back because it's hard to go back with the way that how long this video is. But as y'all saw there, I went into positional play calling to bring Wilt to me. I think this is very important for y'all to know. If y'all are running a non-shooting center like a Wilt Chamberlain, you want to make sure that he is your pick and roll player. He's the guy setting your screens and the guy that is rolling to the rim to basically hide the fact that he can't shoot by using him in a pick and roll situation. So you'll see that I and other competitive players pretty much run every single screen through Wilt when he is on the court, because that is just the best way to do it. And the way that you do that is you go, I believe it's left on the D-pad, and then I'm not even sure if that's right. It might not be. It might be LB and then RB and then their icon. On next gen, you literally just hit RB and then hold their icon. Or maybe it's actually LB and hold their icon. I can't even remember off the top of my head because I do it with muscle memory. But point being, you basically want to make sure that you're calling your screen through your center every single time when your center is a non-shooter. And I do a great job of that with Wilt. Get off the screen, open look, great shot by AI. AI has a super, super nice jump shot. It's easy to green. It's very quick and easy to get off as well. And we do a great job of knocking it down there. Pinching from the corner with Josh Smith. I give up a little bit of backdoor, which is my fault, but Josh Smith has Hall of Fame Pogo Stick, which is a super valuable badge. It prevents you from getting matched nearly as effectively. And I do a great job there as well. As y'all saw, his Josh Smith was sitting right here in the paint. He went to cover Wilt Chamberlain, which was a poor decision by him, but I knew that he was likely going to bring his Josh Smith just over in this situation a little bit. And Draymond was lagging far enough back that I knew that as soon as I saw him click on Josh Smith, I could throw it into my Josh Smith because he was just instinctively going to bring his Josh Smith toward this sideline a little bit to try to play in between the two. But I knew as soon as he starts to move this way, there's no way he's going to be able to correct back. So I throw that pass onto Josh Smith for an easy dunk. And that is going to put me up 52-42 going into the fourth quarter. All right, hop into this fourth quarter. He's got the ball in Mitch Richmond's hands, who's the guy who he likes to use as primary ball handler. I got LeBron on ball, who's an elite primary defender, and unfortunately, he gets my LeBron stuck in my Dikembe Mutombo. Does a good job there of basically getting LeBron in a situation where he gets stuck, and that winds up being an easy shot for him, an easy dunk at the rim. I do a great job of just using my full court dribble moves with Fred VanVleet on the other end of the court and getting to the rim and throwing down, not throwing down, he can't dunk obviously, but getting an easy layup. try to pinch with Fred VanVleet and then put myself in a position to bait both with Mutombo there. I don't do a great job of it. I'm willing to give up the roll there, and that's what I do. I click on a Mutombo in case I get a lucky interceptor animation. He does wind up tipping that interior pass, but I hedge so hard with LeBron. Being up 10, I don't want to give up a lot of threes, which is definitely the smart way to play defense in this situation, and I do a good job there of not giving up a three and having a chance to potentially get lucky and get a steal as well. Great shot here with Fred VanVleet. I got enough space, easy play off the screen, and I just wind up missing it. It's my fault. That's an easily greenable shot, and I don't green it. But I do foul in transition, which is smart because you don't want to give up for transition buckets, especially with how hard it is to score in this game compared to games like NBA 2K20 and NBA 2K21. You just want to make sure you're not giving up easy buckets. So I do a great job there in that situation, not giving up an easy bucket. And I try to pinch with Kobe there and get a bump steal. I don't get the bump steal, but I play good defense, wind up forcing a miss. He gets the offensive rebound, unfortunately, and goes right back to the rim with Walt. And I do a great job of getting Kobe in that lane. That's phenomenal defense by me. Getting in the lane with Kobe, beautiful stuff. And we're up 8 with the ball. Get off the screen, and I great, nice shot. I forgot about that move. That's a really nice move by Kobe. And again, that's what I like to say about Kobe, is that his ability to create as a secondary creator is super elite in this game, and an ability that most cards don't have, just because of the way that dribble styles they are right now. And I wind up clipping that because I'm a nerd. But that being said, really nice move by Kobe. He's a great secondary creator. And one thing y'all will see, actually you see both of us do there, he gets thrown with Mitch Richmond in the other situation. In both that possession by him and my possession, we both rejected the screen. We pretended like we were going to use the screen, and we rejected the screen with a dribble move away from the screen as we did a dribble move toward the screen and then away from the screen. So we get a misdirection, hopefully get the defender to bite into the screen a little bit, and it does work for both of us. So we get that defender to bite into the screen a little bit and gives us space to create a move toward the other side of the court, which is something useful to use. You don't have to use your screen every single time. When you set a screen, you can use the screen as a decoy and go from the way from the screen as well, and that gives you a lot more versatility with your offense and a lot more creative things that you are able to do on the offensive end of the court. That being said, up by 9 with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. This should be an easy win, but I make it tougher than it needs to be. I will say that. Good defensive possession by him there. Not even that great of a defense possession, but his Walt switches into position on Kawhi. His CPU does a good job of switching there. He's sitting on his Dikembe, and I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I tried to throw that in there, and he greens a great shot with Walt. That's a tough shot. Stopping on the break with a guy who doesn't have a phenomenal release, and he knocks it down. It's a great shot by him. It's only a 6-point game all of a sudden, so it's gone from an 11 to 6-point game really quickly. Trying to be patient with Fred VanVleet here, and his Walt Frazier is just absolutely sitting. I throw it into LeBron. Throw it back out to Kawhi. I should have. That's not even a bad shot. I got an open look. Honestly, should have probably greened it. That's a shot that I should green. With an open shot with Kawhi's release, it's something I should green. I don't. I wind up forcing up the paint mash. It does not go in. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game. I don't get the steal there, even though I was in a good position to get the steal, which is unfortunate. I get through the screen with LeBron. And what happens here? I'm not even sure. I think he scores in this possession, but I'm not entirely sure how. No, he doesn't wind up scoring this possession unless he gets an offensive rebound. He does get an offensive rebound and goes up with a paint mash. That's just tough. Offensive rebounds in this game are frustrating because it puts them under the basket, and almost every single time that's going to be a paint mash. Good defensive possession there. Honestly, nothing I could have done about that. But all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game. This game has gotten super, super close. I get into the paint and throw it over to Dikembe. Really could have shot the mid-range there, but I didn't. Get the ball back into the hands of my point guard, go back into my pick and roll, and I get an illegal screen, which is just completely hoage. That's really unfortunate. I have absolutely killed him into that screen, the Walt Frazier, and they call an illegal screen there, which is definitely just unfortunate. Great dribble move by me. I would have had a wide open mid-range pull-up or layup, but unfortunately I don't, and that sets us up for a situation where I need to get a stop at some point because I'm only up 4 points right now. Ball is his, and I do believe that he does go on to score this possession. I'm actually not 100% sure of that, but I do think he winds up going on to score. So let's see real quickly if he does. Calling his screen. No, he's in a 5-out right now with Mitch Richmond, and he now calls a screen with Dikembe. He goes away from his screen, does a good job of using the misdirection of the screen. I don't get a chase down block with Kawhi. That possession, he winds up getting a dunk, and it's a 2-point game. So he has managed to make this a super close game all of a sudden. Get the ball into Kobe's hands because I feel confident with him as a creator. I don't know why he's jumping there. I should have thrown it into LeBron. I had a wide open dunk with LeBron if I did, but I call him pick and roll. Use the pick kind of. His defense is just super confused at this point. I don't feel like he ever got his defense set up properly the way that he wanted to, and Dikembe winds up being wide open for a backdoor dunk. dunk. And that's a huge, huge shot here. If I can get a stop here, this game is basically over. So I need to make sure that I focus up and get a stop. Despite the fact that my defense hasn't been this great this game, I got to lock up here. I'm covering the slip or the switch with LeBron. I'm doing a great job of covering, preventing his Mitch from getting in the basket, and also staying between his LeBron and the basket with my LeBron. He's absolutely boxed. I'm switching on and off ball. I'm recovering everything. I'm doing a great job. I switch on there and I get the block with Dikembe, clicking on to Dikembe at the last second to get that block and do a beautiful job of playing defense on that possession. And all of a sudden, that will pretty much seal it, because I am now at 4 with the ball with however many seconds left. I know it's not very many, 37 seconds left. So let's see what I do on this possession. I don't honestly remember how the exact end of this game will end up going, but I throw it. No, I don't. I just get into the front court. Smart play by me. Dribble handoff to Fred VanVleet. At least I call him to me. And he will, unfortunately, is in a zone. This is a glitch that's still in the game, is they'll automatically put you in a zone late in the game, which I just think is kind of dumb. But I wind up throwing it in. I get Kawhi wide open in the corner. Easy 3. Missed the white, but at this point, it's kind of probably over anyway. I should have greened that shot, because now it would have been a 7-point lead, but unfortunately I don't, which makes it a 4-point game with 14 seconds left. But at this point, it's really just up to me to not choke, in all honesty. So how did I get the ball? I think he panicked, actually. I hate that I can't skip forward very much in this video because of how long this video is. It's like a 4-hour stream that I did playing tournament series all day. But yeah, I mean, y'all will see in this clip right here, I think he basically panics. And in a situation like this, if you're the offense, you really just want to make sure that you score as quickly as possible. You don't have to force a 3. You can take what your defense gives you and then try to get a stop, try to double team in the backcourt, things like that, to give yourself the best chance to stay in a game. And what he does here is really not effective and cohesive to giving himself a chance to win the game. He's kind of panicking, if I remember correctly, kind of just throws the ball to several different people at once. Tries to throw it ahead to Mitch. He could have potentially had a 2 there. Throws it out to Ibaka, nothing there, and he's just basically tapping X or tapping A to pass the ball a bunch. Not really cohesive quality offense, and I just hold the ball, which is going to end the game. We wind up winning by 4. So definitely a sweaty game. Shout out to my boy Bubs, who I played in this game. He's definitely a solid player, and this wound up being a really, really good game. I made some mistakes, but as y'all saw, defensively I was able to be just solid enough to get a couple stops and wind up winning the game. And offensively, we do a good job of using our screens, running our pick and roll offense, running our picks through Wilt when he's on the court, and just taking smart shots and putting ourselves in a position to win. I did not play that great in this game. I made enough mistakes that I could have lost, but I wind up winning anyway. So that's the key, is to fight through and make sure that you basically play as smart as possible. Try to limit your turnovers and put yourself in the best position to win, and I do a good enough job of that to get it done. So hopefully this video does help y'all out. Hopefully y'all find it interesting to watch a close competitive game like this as well. And if it does, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.